Have you ever paused to consider what happens in the minutes right after you masturbate? Most men don't. They reach for their phone, scroll absent-mindedly, drift into a nap, or rush to the bathroom out of habit, without thinking twice about the effect those choices may have. Yet the truth is that the way you treat your body immediately after release has a powerful influence on how you feel physically, emotionally, and hormonally. This short, quiet window of time, often just 10 to 15 minutes, can make the difference between recovery and strain, between feeling light and grounded or sore and drained. I'm Dr. Isabella Rae Jane, a urologist who has spent over a decade working with men, particularly those over the age of 50. In my practice, I hear the same frustrations repeated again and again. Men tell me they feel sluggish, that their erections aren't as dependable as they once were, or that their mood drops after climax. Many describe a vague soreness or heaviness in the pelvic region that they can't explain, and almost none of them realize that what they do immediately after release is shaping these experiences. Masturbation itself isn't harmful. The problem is the neglect that follows, the absence of recovery, the lack of awareness that this moment is one of the most vulnerable and most important times to offer the body care. When you are younger, recovery is automatic. A man in his 20s can finish, zip up, and move on as though nothing significant just happened. The nervous system resets quickly, testosterone rebounds, circulation flows freely, and the pelvic floor muscles remain resilient. But the story changes with age. After 50, your body adapts differently. Hormones shift more gradually, circulation is less efficient, nerves fire more slowly, and muscles are more prone to tightness and strain. None of this signals decline, it signals change. It is your body's way of asking for more care and more respect. Ejaculation is not simply a moment of physical release. It is a full-body event. During orgasm, your nervous system fires intensely. Your heart rate climbs, blood vessels expand, muscles contract, and hormones shift rapidly. Dopamine spikes high, then crashes down. Prolactin rises to tell your body it is time to rest. Testosterone dips before recovering again. All of this happens in minutes, but the after effects linger much longer. Your system needs help to reset, and when you ignore that need, you pay for it in ways you may not even connect to the act itself. Fatigue, irritability, soreness, and even reduced sexual performance at the next encounter often trace back not to the orgasm itself, but to what comes afterward. The most common mistake I see men make is collapsing into stillness. Some slump in a chair, scrolling their phone with poor posture and compressed muscles. Others roll over and fall asleep. It feels comforting in the moment, but physiologically it is the worst choice. The pelvic floor, which has just contracted powerfully, stays locked in tension. Circulation slows when it most needs to move. Oxygen delivery drops, and blood begins to pool. Over time, this pattern breeds inflammation. Many older men carry around low-grade prostatitis or chronic pelvic heaviness without realizing it is fed by this very habit. What the body craves in those first minutes is gentle release. It wants movement, it wants oxygen, it wants circulation, and you do not need an elaborate workout to give it that. Simply standing tall, walking slowly around the room, or taking several deep breaths that expand your belly can shift your system back into balance. Hip circles, a forward fold, or a light stretch are enough. The goal is not exercise. The goal is transition. You are helping your body move from the intensity of climax into the calm of recovery. This small act of movement also supports your nervous system. With age, your nervous system becomes more sensitive to imbalance. The spike of dopamine during orgasm and the crash that follows can feel heavier than it once did. Many men describe an emotional drop, a sense of emptiness, sadness, or guilt. They believe this is a personal flaw, when in fact it is biology. After orgasm, dopamine levels plummet and prolactin rises. If your testosterone is already lower, or if cortisol, the stress hormone, is high from work or worry, that drop feels sharp. It can leave you unsettled, and if you misinterpret it, you may spiral into self-judgment. Meeting this moment with compassion instead of criticism changes everything. A warm shower, a few minutes of writing down how you feel, or simply placing a hand on your chest and breathing deeply sends a powerful signal. You are safe, you are cared for, you are okay. This reframing stops the emotional crash from turning into shame. It turns recovery into a practice of self-respect. Hygiene is another essential piece of the puzzle. After ejaculation, the urethra remains more open. The skin around the groin is warm and moist, and bacteria can grow easily. Ignoring cleanup, especially if you stay in tight or synthetic underwear, increases your risk of irritation and infection. Clean yourself gently with warm water and mild fragrance-free soap. Pat dry with a clean towel. If you are uncircumcised, clean under the foreskin. Then urinate within 20 minutes to flush the urethra and support the prostate. These steps are small, but over time they protect you in profound ways, preventing chronic discomfort and preserving long-term health. There is also a hormonal dimension to recovery that many men overlook. Prolactin, the hormone released after climax, is meant to encourage rest. But in older men, elevated prolactin lingers longer and interferes with testosterone. Too much prolactin dampens desire, weakens erections, and leaves you feeling flat. This is why your aftercare routine should be thought of as hormone care. Avoid behaviors that raise cortisol, like diving into stressful messages, flooding yourself with caffeine, or staring into bright screens. Instead, create a calm environment. Drink water, breathe deeply, take a short intentional nap if needed. Support your body in returning to balance rather than pushing it further out of rhythm. Nutrition can play a role as well. Hydration is critical. Beyond that, consider foods that encourage circulation and hormone balance. A slice of watermelon provides hydration and natural citrulline to support blood flow. Beets boost nitric oxide, opening vessels and nourishing tissues. Brazil nuts deliver selenium, which supports testosterone production. These aren't dramatic changes, but they add up, supporting not just recovery in the moment, but long-term stamina and vitality. The pelvic floor deserves special attention here. Too often men think only in terms of strength, practicing endless Kegel exercises. But the pelvic floor also needs flexibility and release. Years of sitting and stress create chronic tightness, which worsens after orgasm. That tightness leads to lingering heaviness, weak erections, or difficulty with urination. The key is relaxation. Deep breathing that expands the lower belly allows the pelvic floor to open and release. 1 minute of this practice after finishing can transform your comfort and health. Even rest itself benefits from mindfulness. If you choose to nap, pay attention to posture. Slumping compresses vessels and nerves. Instead, lie on your side with a pillow between your knees, or on your back with your legs slightly elevated. Use breathable fabrics. Avoid heavy layers that trap heat. Rest with intention. Tell yourself, I am resting, I am recovering. That shift in mindset transforms passive collapse into active healing. When you begin to treat these quiet moments with respect, the bigger picture becomes clear. This is not just about protecting sexual performance. It is about honoring your body as a whole. The choices you make after climax affect circulation, hormones, mood, and confidence. They ripple outward into your daily energy, your relationships, and your sense of self. Too often men hide their struggles, assuming they are shameful or inevitable. But the truth is that your body is not betraying you. It is speaking to you. It is asking for care. Imagine the difference it could make to pause after release, to stand and breathe instead of slump, to clean with attention, to hydrate, to move gently, to treat yourself with kindness rather than criticism. These small acts build trust with your body. They reconnect your mind and your masculinity in a grounded, authentic way. They turn what might feel like a moment of weakness into a practice of strength. So let me return to the question I asked at the beginning. What do you usually do right after masturbating? And is it serving you? Because this moment is not trivial. It is not meaningless. It is an invitation. When you replace rushing with restoring, when you shift from hiding to healing, everything changes. Your mood, your stamina, your recovery, even the way you see yourself as a man. You are not too old to feel good in your body. You are not broken. You are not done. You are simply ready for a wiser, more intentional approach to pleasure, performance, and self-care. The next time you climax, pause, stand, breathe, cleanse, hydrate. Give your body the space and respect it deserves. See this not as an obligation, but as a gift, a way of honoring the man you are becoming, not clinging to the one you fear you have lost. These minutes are not trivial. They are the beginning of your next chapter of strength. And if this message resonates with you, remember that you are not alone. There are countless men navigating the same journey, seeking the same renewal. Together we can redefine what vitality means beyond 50. It is not about chasing youth. It is about embracing wisdom, patience, and compassion for your body. The next chapter of your health and your confidence begins not in the gym, not in a prescription bottle, but in the quiet 5 minutes after you climax. Treat that time with wisdom, and your body will thank you for years to come.